Hello again. The Khoisan community has another opportunity to demand First Nation recognition and land rights. The Deputy President, Paul Mashatile, today engaging traditional leaders and the Khoisan community under the theme Promotion of Development and Social Cohesion in Traditional Communities through Cooperation with Government and the Private Sector. Mashatile was leading the conversation in his capacity as a chairperson of the Interministerial Task Team on matters of traditional and Khoisan leaders. Moloko Moloto is keeping an eye on this dialogue in Bloemfontein, Komangaung in the Free State. He joins us this afternoon. Now, Moloko, good afternoon. The traditional people, leaders, feel that the issues they are raising are not actually being addressed. Tell us why.
Good afternoon, Braden. Well, the traditional leaders, as well as the Khoisan leaders, have always been meeting with the government leaders to an extent that we saw in 2020 the President Cyril Ramaphosa establishing a task team that at the time was chaired by the Deputy President David Mabuza. Of course, Paul Mashatile, who succeeded Mabuza, has now taken over. And today here in Bloemfontein, the traditional and Khoisan leaders who are meeting here, they are saying that they have been talking for a long time and they feel that government really isn't taking their demand seriously. I mean, one of the issues they complain about is the issue of salaries. You would recall that in South Africa, a king or queen is earning 1.3 million rand per annum, whereas if you look at the headman or headwoman, is just earning over 100,000 rand per annum. So they also want several benefits. For instance, one of the things they raised here is that they want the same benefits that government officials are getting, such as pension fund contributions, as well as medical aid. They want all those. The Deputy President obviously listening to them. But before that, maybe let's listen to Khoshi Lamek Mukwena from Contralesa, who was indicating that government tends to come to them through formal structures, particularly when they go to the elections, creating an impression that they really take their issues seriously, and they don't believe that is the case. Let's listen to Khoshi Mokwena there.
I want to say, our Honourable President, we are saying, can all what we submitted since then up until now, let us be told when are they going to be implemented. We are very, my Deputy President, when they're reporting here, they were saying we're busy with it. It's in progress. We're processing it. That's all they were saying. I was deployed, myself and the Deputy Minister, President Namash, mandated by Amakos, okay, but go and meet the commission. He drove from Eastern Cape. I drove from Bushbuckridge, went to Paris to meet the commission on the remuneration. Submitted everything that Amakos told us to submit. Up until now, we're told it's a work in progress.
Moloko, I don't expect you to answer this question, but I mean, Khoisan leaders are also traditional leaders. I'm just finding this distinction of traditional leaders and Khoisan leaders is different. But anyway, that's a discussion for another day. The Deputy President, Paul Mashatile, responding to some of the concerns, what did he say to them?
Well, Braden, I can attempt to answer that question. Obviously, the Khoisan leaders are demanding for the First Nation status, and you would know that some of them have been camping for years outside the union buildings, and they want the President Cyril Ramaphosa to come and attend to some of their issues. And as a result, we saw government trying to combine these two terms to say traditional leaders and Khoisan leaders, so much that they are trying to address issues affecting them collectively. But the Deputy President, Paul Mashatile, was accompanied by several cabinet ministers who also gave reports in terms of the work that they do. For instance, the Minister of Public Works, Sikhe Zigalala, was talking about the infrastructure work that his department is doing in areas controlled by traditional leaders. We also heard from the Deputy Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture talking about a whole lot of issues that from their department they are doing, working hand in glove with the traditional leaders. Obviously, the Minister of Kokta, Tembing Gadimeng, as well, outlining the work that they do continuously to support the traditional leaders. The Deputy President really not really wanting to go into the specifics to say, this we are going to do, this we are not going to do. But he said to them that we are not going to lie to you as government. We will be able to tell you what we are able to do and what we cannot do. He then said, given the ultimatum given by the traditional leaders to say, meet our demands even before next year's elections, he said some of them, as government, they will try to meet before even December. And those that they cannot meet, they will tell the traditional leaders that we are unable to do this because of this and that. Maybe let's listen to him in his words.
One of the things we don't want is to come and tell you lies here. And everything in No, we must be able to say this one is now here. This one is here. Because by doing so, we can all agree. If you say Khoisan Mashatile is slow, then I must listen and I must say to my guys, let's slow. So that's what we are doing now. If you listen to what I said earlier, I said the motto for our office is now the speed of execution. Very important phrase, because we have acknowledged the slowness that has been there throughout government. And a lot of things that are happening in government, the president brought them to the presidency to make it the center of implementation of government programs. So the issue of traditional leadership are going to receive similar attention.